going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another video. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when the live stream pops or drops. Boys, the Big Apple, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join us. We're going to try to improve the podcast a little bit so it's more viewer-friendly, rather than us just, spewing topics and just sitting there and reacting to games. Other than that, Big Blue in the Bronx podcast going to try to formalize a schedule. That way it's not sporadic. Probably going to do a Saturday, Monday, or Tuesday thing. Because that way, if I do it on Fridays, there's a possibility I miss something like, oh, this player got injured, this player's hurt, this player can't play. I don't want to miss that stuff, and I want to get it all in the preview for the games that happen, every Sunday. Obviously, other than, the Monday Night Football games and stuff like that. Other than that, let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Nick Gates and Shane Lemieux, their respective injuries, and possible free agents that the Giants might target. Is it very likely they target free agents at the offensive guard position? It's very unlikely, but I'm going to bring up 4 candidates that are out there that could be fits for the New York Giants. So in terms of Shane Lemieux, going back to training camp, us Giants fans were hearing the NFL rumors and, the beat reporters, blah, 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 talking about, well, he has a torn patella tendon, partially torn. Is it unconfirmed? Is it confirmed? Blah, 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 blah. So it just so happened to be that he does have a partially torn patella tendon. You don't want to screw with that. He did play a couple of snaps in week 1 against the Denver Broncos. He actually looked improved in pass protection. He looked good in the running game when the Giants actually did run the football. But in terms of his injury, Joe Judge did say that there is a possibility that he does return this season. My opinion is you let him rest. You let him focus on next year. There is no reason to rush him back this year. And the way we're going about the O-line, just let him come back next year. Why are we forcing a developmental 5th-round pick back into the lineup? Doesn't make a lot of sense. So hopefully he just sits out the season. I don't want it to happen, but it has to happen that way, he doesn't get re-injured or, really puts his career at risk. And we don't want that to happen. But it's unfortunately the case that he partially tore the patella tendon because, once again, he was improved or did show improvement in pass protection against the Broncos. And the way the Giants are stationed at that left guard position now, it's not that great compared to what we had with Lemieux, and that's kind of saying something. Bradison is a good pass protector, Ben Bradison, who we got from the Ravens. But in terms of run blocking, he's not what Shane Lemieux is. He's not what Will Hernandez is, and that is a big problem when you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield. So for Shane Lemieux, hope you get better, man. Keep fighting, and come back next season fully healthy and ready to play. In terms of Nick Gates, talk about that. Gates fractured his leg against the Washington football team on Thursday Night Football. Fox did not show the replay because it was that severe. It was that, unattractive looking, for a lack of better words. And I had a bad feeling that he could be out for the season because he got carted off and they were not showing the replay. So it must have been a really bad injury. He fractured his leg and he's still doing procedures down in, I think, Virginia or Maryland or whatever, somewhere in the D.C. area. And Joe Judge straight out said when asked, this could be career ending. And that's not a good thing because Nick Gates, he's fought to the top. He was an undrafted free agent out of Nebraska in 2018. He got put on IR. 2019, he was kept. He played well in the preseason, got some starts in 2019. 2020, he's the starting center, and he was a captain this year. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But this is why you have to appreciate the undrafted free agents in the preseason because you don't know who you're going to get. James Harrison was an undrafted free agent. Gates was an undrafted free agent, as I just mentioned. Victor Cruz was an undrafted free agent. So you have to appreciate this for all of the casuals out there that say, preseason doesn't matter. Screw them. Anyway, in terms of the possible career-ending thing, Don't rush him back, obviously. And if it's career ending, what can we do about it? I'm not saying, oh, I wish him that he never comes back. I'm not saying that. But Giants are in a super tough spot right now. Super tough spot. And so is Nick Gates. And he's a fighter. I truly believe that he will come back next year, even if he doesn't play the full year because he's still rehabbing from the fractured leg. I do believe he will come back next year and even stronger. So that's just my personal opinion. I'm trying to keep things positive, but there is obviously that possibility that he does not come back to football ever. Now, with that being said, the Giants traded for a couple of offensive linemen before the regular season. They traded for Billy Price. They traded for Ben Bradison. They signed Matt Skura. They signed him to the active roster a couple of days ago when they put Lemieux on IR, stuff like that. But here's my thing about this. I obviously am going to bring up 4 free agents. I don't think the Giants will take the free agent route. I think they'll stick to what they have and go from there. And if you think about it, why would you blame them? Your oldest guy's Nate Solder. You preferably want to keep it that way. Billy Price is Billy Price. You could switch him out with Skura if he has too many issues. And why shift it around 7, 8 times? That's bad for the quarterback. That's bad for the running back. That's just bad for the team overall. It's a mess. It would be a 3-ring circus that way. But if the Giants were considering the free agent route, here is who I would like them to go after. I'm not saying sign, but just see, how they're doing in terms of these players, because a lot of them have positives, a lot of them have negatives. Let's go into it. So the first candidate is David DeCastro, the former Steelers lineman. I think he's a 4-time, 5-time Pro Bowler, was released in June or July. He has a lower leg injury or some type of an ankle injury that he's been dealing with for a while now. I'd like to find out some news about that, because if that is shored up, if it's not a problem anymore, the Giants can very well put him in there and have him start at left guard or right guard or wherever. He only allowed 17 pressures last year in 13 games, and he's 31. If the leg injury isn't there, I'd like to go after him. If it is there, though, it's something that the Giants should really not take a chance on. And then, obviously, there's the side of the argument that says, well, Lemieux and Gates were injured, and they went on IR, so what would the case be to Castro? Why wouldn't we take a chance on a better lineman, a low-risk, high-reward kind of thing? It's just the fact that you don't want to play a full season where you have 7 to 8 different line combinations. That's not good for the quarterback. The next guy is Forrest Lamp. He's 27. He technically is a draft bust of the Los Angeles Chargers, started 16 games last year, allowed 2 sacks and 38 pressures from the left guard position. Basically a Billy Price, if you think about it, a draft bust for his respective team. He was released. The Bills picked him up in the preseason, and he didn't work for them. So Lamp's main role would probably try to be a rotational lineman, a backup lineman, a reserve lineman. But they have Billy Price. So what's the reason to go after Forrest Lamp for if you have Billy Price, Matt Skura, you re-signed Jonathan Harrison? So, it doesn't make a lot of sense there. But once again, if they were considering the free agent market for guards, Forrest Lamp is there. The next guy, Senio Kelemeti. He's 31. He's played with the Saints and the Texans in his career, most notably with the Texans from last year. If you guys listen to ESPN Analytics, they'll tell you that he was one of the best run blockers in the NFL, but pass blocking, he wasn't so good. That's why, a lot of people point to Pro Football Focus and his grade, which was like a 54, but once again, I don't refer off that stuff. I don't go off that stuff because I don't like Pro Football Focus. He allowed no sacks in 14 games last year. He only started 5, so I think they had Max Sharping and a couple other guys play over him. But with that being said, he's 31. He does run block well, which would be a plus for this Giants offensive line. But in terms of the pass blocking, we need them to be as stable as possible. And the Giants have been stable so far in the 2 games as pass protectors. As in run blockers, they really haven't been good. And you can blame the scheme, you can blame the lineman, you can blame Barkley, you can blame whoever you want. It's still an issue. So in terms of Calamity, whatever the hell his name is, you could take a chance, but once again, you have Skura, you have Harrison, so why go after somebody who's 31 years old? The next and final guy is very unlikely to come in if the Giants consider the free agent option, and that is DJ Fluker. He played for the Giants. As some of you know, he played the right guard position for a couple of games in 2017 when the Giants had a lot of injuries on the offensive line, a lot of injuries on the team. He filled in for John Jerry because he had to switch over to left guard, and then Pugh had to switch over to right tackle, and it was a whole freaking mess. But last year he gave up 2 sacks and 26 pressures. He played for the Ravens, if I remember. He recently spent some time with the Miami Dolphins. That really didn't work out, so he got cut. But he's a free agent on the market. He's 30 years old. I'm friends with him on PS4, gladly enough. But I don't think the Giants bring him back in, to be honest with you. I don't think they do that because why would the Giants sign him now if they didn't think anything good of him 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So wouldn't make a lot of sense there. But if I were to go after the free agent market, I'd probably look into DeCastro, then Calamity, then Lamp, then Fluker. You know, in the ranks of the way Giants see things as in the organization. But that's pretty much in this video. If you guys haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops video drops. Appreciate y'all. Peace out. See you later. Stay cool. Go Yankees and go Giants. Forgot to add something real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I just checked my YouTube stats, and only 34.2 of the viewers are subscribed. So please, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important that you do hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification button. Helps out the channel. You guys get to see videos, some interesting videos. You guys get to come on live streams, even if you aren't a subscriber. Please, it is very important. You get the word out, basically. It helps the algorithm. So please, do hit that subscribe button, like, comment, do all the necessary things. Peace out, guys. Thank you.